Okay, so I just listened to the debate twice. So I listened to once raw without any commentary, and then I listened to half of it with commentary from Tim Pool, and then half of it from Harry Sisson. I wanted to get two sides, listen to two separate sides of the story there. Oh man, it was bad. it was really bad. So I'm gonna try to analyze it from somebody kind of middle of the road. Okay, so I do have some bias towards Trump, but I'm gonna try not to let that get in the way. So Biden was absolutely terrible. He was the very first thing when I very first started listening to it. He was sounded like he was huffing and puffing. Sounded like he was out of breath, and it was really bad. And he was stumbling over words constantly. He could never get a coherent thought out. I almost dropped my phone. He could never get a coherent thought out. He mumbled, and at one point he was mumbling so bad, and then he ran out of time, and Trump took over, and Trump goes, "I have no idea what he said." And he's like, "I don't think he knows what he's saying." So that was really bad. I know there's a lot of people talking now about Biden getting replaced. I don't think they're going to replace him. I really don't. I really think they're going to go with him. He's going to be the sacrificial lamb. They're just going to let him go. They're going to let him get stomped into the oblivion in November, and then that way they don't sacrifice a good candidate for 28. That way they could take a chance at winning the White House back in 28, because obviously Trump can't run again. So despite what people say about making him a dictator, he's not going to be able to run again. Yeah, so I don't think they're going to replace Biden. I don't think Biden's going to step down. I don't think they're going to make him step aside. But that debate was really bad. I'm going to really look forward to seeing some of the polls coming out over the next week or two with regards to this, and see how he does. But I don't think it's going to be very good at all. As far as Trump goes, Trump made some good points, but he's got to answer questions faster. Like, what was the one about the abortion pill? He did answer it. He answered that one pretty quickly. But I'm trying to think of which question it was where they actually had to go back to the question for him to answer it. He got off and he got his points and he's got his thought out and slam Biden, but he's got to answer that question. Answer your question and then go into your thoughts, and then go back and slam Biden. Because most people want to hear, "What are you going to do for me? What are you going to do to help me?" Most people don't understand the nuances of the Hunter Biden laptop, or the talked about having the election stolen. Most people don't think about that. It's just kind of in the back of their mind. They want to know about, what are you going to do to help them? And I think Trump does need to get a little better at answering those questions. And that was one thing I was worried about. While I was listening to it, I was getting a little frustrated. Like, dude, just answer the question and then go back to your secondary thoughts. Not your secondary thoughts, then answer the question as a secondary thought. I was getting a little frustrated with him on that. But overall, I mean, Trump did so much better than Biden. There wasn't even any comparison there. And then I was just listening to Kamala Harris. CNN was talking to Kamala Harris, and Kamala Harris goes, "You seen a large contrast between who's going to do better for this country on that stage today." Yeah, you absolutely did see a nice big contrast there. One man couldn't answer a question, period, because he was out of breath and he was struggling to talk. And the other one, Trump did a decent job. He stayed on track, and a lot of that too was the fact that they only had so many minutes to answer a question. Each section they only had, I think, 4 minutes. for each question, and then they could have like a 1-minute follow-up, and then they'd shut the mic off, which actually helped Trump because it kept him from getting too far off track. I tend to do the same thing when I'm talking. Sometimes I'll talk and talk, and then I'll get kind of sidetracked into something else, and I'll forget what the original answer was. So that actually helped Trump, and didn't really help Biden so much, but it kept him from struggling too much to speak. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're, like I said, I don't think they're gonna replace Biden after this. I think they're just gonna kind of count it as a loss. If I was the Democrats, what I would do, I'm like, all right, well, the presidency's lost. It's done. Just kind of sacrifice Biden because he's obviously, no matter what, he's not going to be able to run again, obviously. So he gets reelected. If he does end up getting reelected, he's done in 4 years. He'll probably be out of office before then, but I don't think he'll make it another 4 years. But if he doesn't, there's no way in hell he'll be able to run again in 28. He just doesn't have the mental capacity to do it again in 28. What they can do, they can sacrifice him, like, all right, you're done. You know, you lost, it's over. They can focus on the House and on the Senate. Just dump tons of money into the House races and into the Senate, and then just stonewall Trump. That would be my suggestion to the Democrats, if that's what you want. Hopefully that don't happen. Hopefully the House and the Senate, go to the Republicans. But that would be my suggestion to the Democrats. It's like, all right, well, just put your hands up, like, all right, Biden's done. Let's just focus on stopping Trump. If that's what you want as a Democrat. That's my personal suggestion. For Republicans, you need to focus on the House and the Senate. You need to, because after this performance especially, I could see Trump surging heavily in the polls. I could see Trump surging nicely. Focus on the House and the Senate. Help him win the House and the Senate so he can get accomplished what he wants to. Hopefully I didn't get too far off track on this, but I think that's all I've got for you tonight. See ya.